Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have bedtime stories. It's what I thought it was yesterday. It's an Adam Sandler Disney film, which is unusual. Usually he does films that are a bit more mature. I can't believe I just said that. Mature in the sense of the humor being more mature, less kid friendly. Even though most of his characters are mostly man children at heart. Um, you know, Happy Gilmore and I can't believe I'm blanking on his movies. Um, yeah, whatever. All those movies where he basically just speaks gibberish in a weird voice. And yes, there's some of that in here. Uh, but again, he's like a college. Back in the '90s, he was a college age guy coming out of Saturday Night Live, in love with boobies and really just immature stuff, while being a man, and then acting like an 8-year-old who's just discovered boobies for the first time in his life. So yeah, that was pretty much the whole realm of Billy Madison. That's what I was thinking of. It's that whole realm of immature but mature comedy that you usually get from an Adam Sandler vehicle. In this is more Disneyfied. Yes, like I said, there's lots of Sandlerisms, but this is very much a more Disney-oriented thing. It is about story, and it's about bedtime stories. Obviously, we get Adam, who plays the uncle of two little kids. I guess they're like 6 or 7 or something like that, and he's babysitting them for his sister while she goes out of town or something. She's away, and it's Courtney Cox is his sister, and he ends up realizing she's super. I don't know. She doesn't give them any junk food. She doesn't let them watch TV. They have no TV, so he's kind of stuck. Giving them like granola or just dry roughage, and then having to tell them bed stories to entertain them. And that's where we get the story. Well, the two of them, Adam and Courtney Cox, they were both raised by just their dad, who ran a hotel in the Hollywood area. By the way, the father's name, why can't I find him here? Come on, there he is, Jonathan Pryce. Jonathan Pryce. If you don't recognize the name, you would recognize the face if you saw him. But he provides the voiceover for much of the film. Well, the start of the and end of the film. He kind of book ends it. Kind of a little bit of a Princess Bride thing without the actual father reading a story or grandpa reading a story to a kid kind of situation. It does have some ties to Princess Bride. Guy Pearce shows up in this. And we got Lucy Lawless, Xena, a warrior princess. They play kind of the bad guys of the film, and they make wonderful bad guys. Anyway, Marty, the dad of Courtney Cox and Adam Sandler's kids, they grow up. Mom becomes a school principal, or Courtney becomes a school principal, and Adam ends up inheriting a job at the motel that their dads started. Unfortunately, it didn't go too well, and he had to sell it off, and it went to a guy who turned it into a mega hotel kind of thing. And Marty, I'm sorry, Skeeter. Yes, his name's Skeeter. Skeeter was kept on as a maintenance guy. It's a low-level job in a place where he should have been. He should have grown into running the show. Well, that certainly didn't work out, and so that's his situation. And I've told you way too much, but the point of it is that the whole subplot behind this is that this hotel is getting bigger, and it's changing, and it creates a conflict between Adam's Skeeter character and the Guy Pearce character, who are vying for control of the next generation of the hotel. It's an unnecessary small world connection between everything going on. And I haven't even mentioned Carrie Russell yet. Carrie Russell is also babysitting the kids during the day while Adam watches them at night, and that's how he does the bedtime stories, obviously. She watches them during the day because she goes to night school. And so their lives sort of cross over. She's pretty much annoyed from him from the start, as most women would tend to be by a Adam Sandler character. Not necessarily Adam, but an Adam Sandler character in any of his movies. That's pretty much how most women start out in his films. They're like, leave me alone, you weirdo. And then they're like, hey, let's get naked together. It's usually how it works out. And they're usually impossibly gorgeous. Um, anyway, I've told you so much of the filler ground, the basis for this entire story. But what's important is that we get Adam's bedtime stories down, and I'm not exactly sure why they're happening, but when he starts telling stories and the kids contribute their own ideas, the things that they talk about come true the next day. And he's the only one who seems to figure this out because he's kind of the main character of these stories. They go to medieval. He has a medieval story the first night, then a western the next night, and then there's another. Oh, they do another one in Roman times with gladiators and chariots and stuff. And the fourth story they tell is from outer space in the future. So little details that he and the kids put together suddenly form reality somehow in some weird way. And Adam decides to start using this to his advantage without the kids really knowing why. And it leads to some unexpected twists and turns. I just noticed I saw his face here. Russell Brand is, believe it or not, in an Adam Sandler film, he plays the funny sidekick with the quirks. Adam Sandler isn't like the funny guy enough. He's the straight guy, and he has to have a wacky sidekick in the form of Russell Brand. Okay, sure, let's double down. But yeah, he's wacky, and he works with him at the hotel. He's like he delivers food to the hotel rooms. Anyway, so yeah, of course, you kind of know that with Carrie Russell being the daytime babysitter and Adam being the nighttime babysitter, when their paths cross, they butt heads. Obviously, they're destined for love. So, will that happen? How does it happen? Well, you have to watch the movie to find out. And if you're not a big Adam Sandler fan, if you're kind of over the whole all the weird faces and voices that he does, if you somehow grown out of it, then yeah, this is probably not going to be a movie for you. But it's not as egregious or inane as it might have been in the other films. Like, yes, there is a point where a bee stings his tongue and he can't speak properly, and only Russell Brand can translate for him. But yeah, beyond that, it's fairly straightforward Disney film, and I think it wouldn't necessarily have to have been Adam Sandler in the lead role. But I can't think of anybody else who could have fully, taken on this role without, so well. There's also a CGI guinea pig with giant eyeballs for some reason. That's also an added layer of comedy, recurring jokes and stuff like that based on the bug-eyed guinea pig. No idea why. And then there is, of course, Adam has to have all of his friends show up in here in little bit parts here and there. Nick Swartzen has a small part that surprisingly isn't even funny. It's not meant to be a funny role, I guess. He's there to blow something up. But unfortunately, Rob Schneider is in this, and when you look at the IMDb on like a tablet or something like that, his name is at the very, very bottom. Like, you have to scroll all the way to find the name of his character, and I don't even think he has a name, but he plays a Native American man in one of the fantasies, in the Western fantasies, and then in reality, he plays a pickpocket. So, but he plays him as in makeup, in red face. Do they call it that? But yes, Rob Schneider gets to play an Indian with the headdress and everything. He didn't go woo 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 or anything or how, but he speaks in the broken English, and he does get his line in. Instead of "you can do it," he says "I can do it." So it wasn't necessary. Yes, you should have, Rob Schneider in any Adam Sandler film. Yeah, you're gonna go for it, but it didn't necessarily have to be an Indian dude or a Native American dude. So, yeah, we've grown a lot since 2008 when this movie came out. 2008, yeah, I forgot to say that. 2008 is an hour and 41 minutes long. So yeah, it's problematic at times, but it's not as offensive as you might imagine it to be. If you do like Adam Sandler, there's nothing wrong with this film. That you'll probably enjoy it no matter what. And it has, again, Disney flair because it has adventure, big stories, crazy humor, and I think this was meant to sort of build out into a franchise of sorts, maybe in a animated series or something. I don't know. There might have been. It might have been an animated series that I just don't know about. But it looks like it was meant to build out into something else. In fact, the final lines of the film kind of hint at that there's more stories to come. I don't know of any, but if there was, great. Didn't see them. Just like I never saw this movie until now either. So, anyway, Bedtime Stories. It's a fun, cute film. Kids will like it, and you might enjoy it too. You won't grind your teeth through it if you're just too mature for that kind of thing or whatever. So, yeah, it's never gonna be a instant classic, but it wasn't horrible. So, anyway, let's pick tomorrow's episode.
537.
537. 537. Could we be in the area that I've been trying to get back into forever? Nope. We're in the Thes. The Thes, if you don't already know, is all the movies that begin with the word the, and because this is alphabetical, based and aligned with the numbers, the Thes run for like over 100. There's more than 100 items in here that start with the. And we're back in documentary territory again. I keep saying that, but we got the incredible Dr. Paul. The incredible Dr. Paul. I think this is a series, docu-series. So we'll probably watch 1 or 2 episodes, and then we'll come back here and talk about it. The Incredible Dr. Paul on the Disney Plus. That's what it was. Yeah, it wasn't Netflix or anything else. It was on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow.